Okay, TikTok's making noises. All right. Okay, let's go, Carlos, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome. Hello and welcome. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Otis Landerholm. I'm the founding attorney here at Landerholm Immigration, A.P.C, where we fight for your American dream. And it's like we have news, ladies and gentlemen. We have news, at least some positive news. The government is receiving, starting today, starting right now, applications for parole in place for spouses and for children of United States citizens who have 10 years of physical presence in the United States. Really, really happy that this program is moving forward. And I just wanted to share that. I wanted to get live here. I only have like 9 more minutes to be live with you right now. What I'd like to do is I'd like to jump right in and explain the eligibility criteria, all right? Just so that everybody's clear. I've been saying it because it's pretty, pretty similar to what we've seen up to this point. There's basically 5 big requirements, all right? They are: 1, as of June 17th of 2024, you're married to a United States citizen, all right? 2, as of June 17th, 2024, you have 10 years of continuous physical presence in the United States, all right? 3, you cannot have been inspected and admitted or paroled into the U.S. before, all right? Now, you might say, why is that? Look, if you entered on a visa, if you were inspected and admitted in the past, then it's like you don't need this parole, right? You don't need it, right? You can use the fact that you were admitted as your basis for adjusting status. 4, you cannot be a threat to national security, public safety, or have quote-unquote disqualifying criminal history, which I'm not going to go into right this second. And 5, you have to merit a favorable exercise of discretion. Okay, those are the big 5, all right? So again, if you're just tuning in, my name's Otis Landerholm. I'm the founding attorney here at Landerholm Immigration, A.P.C, where we fight for your American dream. I'm so happy to be here with you. I'm so happy to actually have some news here today, all right? And that news is that the government has released regulations, all right? The government is starting to accept applications for parole in place for certain spouses of U.S. citizens and their children. That's big news, all right? That's big news. That's exciting. That'll help approximately 500,000 people. If you're one of those people who's potentially eligible, I mean, I really encourage you to talk it through with a lawyer. Feel free to call my office if you don't have a lawyer already, but talk it through. Get advice about it, all right? One of the things that you want to talk about is, hey, maybe you're eligible for the I-601A, all right? Or maybe you're eligible for this, or maybe you're eligible potentially for both, right? Well, parole and parole in place is typically a lot better than doing an I-601A process, because the I-601A inevitably requires a person to leave the U.S. and to finalize their case at a U.S. consulate overseas. Well, if you can avoid that, now your case is much less risky. Now you can have an attorney represent you at an adjustment of status interview. Now you can have all of your due process rights heard as you go through your case, right? It's a big deal. It's a big deal. And so if you can get the parole, it's a wise thing to try for. And now if you're in that situation, it's like, well, what if your parole is denied for whatever reason? If you still have a valid I-601A, you can move forward with the I-601A instead, right? It's like no harm, no foul. Okay? So what's the process to apply for this thing? Yes, there's a $580 filing fee. We haven't known what the filing fee would be for months. And on Friday, this was released. It'll be $580 of a filing fee. What else do you need to know about the process? You've got to use and create an online USCIS account, all right? You've got to upload all of your evidence and all of your information, including the form, the I-131F form, which is a brand new form for this, all right? In terms of evidence, you've got to upload your marriage license. You've got to upload your identification documents, your ID documents, your passport, whatever you have for ID. You've got to upload 10 years worth of physical presence documents in the United States. All right? You upload all of that, one document at a time, to the USCIS portal. You review it with your attorney. You hit the submit button. You'll get a receipt notice, right? Then, not always. In some cases, they already have biometrics and background checks complete if you've already filed something recently and had that process done. But otherwise, you'll be sent a notice to go get your fingerprints, all right? And you'll go through that process, and then we wait for a decision. Okay, that's the process. That's the way it works. They're accepting these cases right now, folks. All right? So you got to be aware of it. Time is of the essence with these cases. I recommend moving quickly on these cases. Why do I say that? Because any day, it could happen today, right? It could happen today, it could happen tomorrow. Any day, the opposition, the anti-immigrant crowd, is very likely to file a demand in federal court, file a complaint in federal court challenging these regulations, arguing that this whole process is illegal. All right? I argue that it's not illegal. Parole in place has existed forever. All right? And in recent history, parole in place has been a legitimate piece of the legal regime. It's just being expanded slightly to spouses of U.S. citizens for the purpose of keeping families together. So in my opinion, it's like a legitimate program. The problem is that people will challenge it, and we'll have to wait and see what the courts say about this. And so that's why time is of the essence. I recommend moving on it sooner rather than later. And of course, you want to move fast anyway, because the November election, of course, is relevant too. And we want to get this case unfiled and adjudicated before the November election, whenever possible. Okay? Just so you're aware, I've got 4 slots, 30-minute slots, open this afternoon to discuss this that I've just had to open up in order to do this. So if you really wanted to get in that, you'd need to call our office right now to be able to take advantage of that. And I'm in the process of reworking my schedule to open additional slots for later this week as well. All right? So I got 2 minutes left. And I'm sorry, I'm just doing this in English right now. I can do this again in Spanish later. So, lawyer, what are the risks involved with this process? Well, you want to walk this through carefully with your lawyer, all right? Because you are submitting information to the government, and in that information, you're saying that you are in the U.S., but that you've never been inspected and admitted or paroled. So you're basically signing and uploading information to the government that they could use against you. All right? You want to be cognizant. You want to talk things like this through with a lawyer, and you want to maximize your chances of success on a case like this, because yes, there are risks involved. Don't do it if you're not aware of that, and don't do it if you're not willing to take on that risk. Okay? And the risks go up when you have other issues, inadmissibility issues like fraud that'll require a waiver through the process, crimes, alien smuggling, unlawful presence bars, things like that. You want to talk those 3 things through in more depth with a lawyer first. Okay? There's going to be 10+ million people who unfortunately are not eligible for this program. Just because you're not eligible for this program doesn't mean there might not be an option. All right, one of the things that my firm is very great at is we give a very thorough consultation as part of our consultation process to really see, hey, is there any other option out there, right? And so if you're wondering, you might not be eligible for this, you might be eligible for something else. Like, let's go the extra step. Let's really look and see what options might be available. Family-based options, court-based options, whatever it might be, to try and present something, okay? So anyway, if you appear eligible for this, start gathering your 10 years of physical presence, gather your marriage documents, gather your government-issued ID, and give us a call. We'd love to help you with it. Thank you so much for joining me right now. That's all I got for right now. There'll be more to come. I'm going live as I always do tomorrow at 10 a.m. Thank you so much for joining me right now, though. My name's Otis Landerholm Immigration, A.P.C, where we fight for your American dream. Gotta run. Thank you all so much. Make it a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.